Let's go, dude. I'm fucking corny, but the Toronto Raptors have been eliminated from the playoffs today. Indiana Pacers won against the Cavs. I checked and they've been officially eliminated. They're right next to Orlando. And I'm happy. I'm very happy. Raptors, they got 4 more games left. I will be watching them all, obviously. Watching Jalen Harris, Malachi Flynn, Kem Birch, a bunch of young guys play. They're going to rest pretty much everybody, all the starters. And you know what? That's a good thing. I'm happy we missed the playoffs because ever since we got swept by Detroit, I knew we weren't going to go anywhere. Um, this shit all started when all our players went down with COVID. Pascal, Fred, OG, everyone went down with COVID. Nick Nurse, everyone contact tracing. A bunch of guys went out, and it just fell downhill because they couldn't compete, man. They couldn't play with their entire core. They just kept losing, and it just even when they got their players back, it wasn't enough. Obviously, in my opinion, if this team never got COVID, I think we would be good. We would be very good, but it just it it just fell in our way, and we just couldn't play good. Too many players, too many key players were out, and we just couldn't win because Kyle Lowry was on the court. We traded away Norman Powell, was it Matt Thomas and Terrence Davis? That was probably the worst trade that they made. Terrence Davis, he's actually gonna be a good player with the Kings because he's very talented. It's just Toronto didn't want him because domestic violence and they want to give him a first start. Ooh, um, even though we got him last year, undrafted free agent. Matt Thomas, I don't care about. Norman Powell, I miss him, but Gary Trent Jr. is gonna be very good next year. He's gonna be a very good player. Also, the draft picks we had this year, Jalen Harris and Malachi Flynn. Flynn, he won Rookie of the Month. Jalen Harris, I know it's his last 2 games, but he's been playing good the last 2 games, and he's a good shooter. And he's proven that he can shoot the three, and that's what we need coming off the bench. And we're playing a lot of our bench players to get ready for next year, and I think we'll have a bright future. I don't think the guys that I want gone are like Bembry and Stanley Johnson. I want them gone. They have done nothing really. Baines, I want him gone. He's actually one of the reasons why we're shit. If we had Kem Birch for the entire year, oh boy, we're golden, man. Even if we had injuries, even if we had COVID, we would have won like 10 more games if we had Kem Birch, for real, man. And Pascal not being clutch, everyone knew it, but obviously he is a great player. He proves it day in and day out. It's just he doesn't have the clutch factor, and that's why I think Gary Trent Jr. is for. He showed up. He made a game winner. He had 40 plus points at one point. Um, there was some positives this season, but a lot of negatives. And playing in Tampa wasn't the best solution because there's a bunch of fans from Boston, from New York, from whatever, saying, "Hey, we get to be in a free game." It wasn't really a home court advantage. We had 72 away games all year, so we had zero home court advantage. Zero. It's not like we're like, for example, like you're a crap team like the Chargers and you get like no fans in your stands. It's not like we're that. Like, well, at least we're at home. The Raptors, they weren't at home. They were in Tampa, Florida. They weren't in Toronto. And, you know, not the best scenario, but, they played like shit at the beginning of the month. In the middle of the year, they they were at best, they were the 4th seed, near 3rd seed. And they just fell off a cliff because, Pascal got COVID. Van Vliet, OG, just fell off a cliff. We had to trade Powell because his contract was expiring. We didn't trade Lowry, and that obviously I made a video about it. I was very pissed. I hope we do a signing trade and get his ass out. Another guy that's a free agent is Rodney Hood. Who cares about Rodney Hood? I want him gone. Obviously, I want to push the young guys because we do have young talent. Malachi Flynn, again, he won Rookie of the Month. Jalen Harris, a couple good games. Yuta Watanabe, I don't think he's that. I think he's in mid 20s. Um, and we also have whoever we're gonna draft next year. We have 2 second-round picks and a first-round pick. We're the seventh worst team in basketball that we could get a top 10 pick, and that's pretty good. I don't think we'll get top 5, but a top 10 pick is pretty good. If we can stay at 7 or even move up or whatever, I'll be fine with a top 10 pick for sure. And, with Lowry be gone, and then we can have Trent and Van Vliet, and maybe we'll re-sign Kem Birch. I hope we re-sign Kem Birch for like at least one more year because he's a good starting center. Unlike Baines, who was a failed experiment, that Masai Ujiri, man, that was terrible. Signing Kem Birch, I mean not Kem Birch, signing Baines and Alex Len were garbage. They were terrible centers. And then Alex Len, he went to Washington, and he's gonna make the playoffs this year because Washington, they were on a big run. Westbrook and Beal, they're doing pretty good there. So yeah, that's my little ramble on the Raptors season. Really, little recap. Um, you take the good with the bad. Really, um, there was good moments, but there was a lot more bad. Hopefully next year, we play in Toronto. We don't play in Tampa. Lockdown's restricted, and we get to not pack, but we get to have fans in the stands in Toronto, and get back to normal. People are like vaccinated or whatever, even if it doesn't work or whatever. But people are healthy, and we get fans in Toronto and for Leafs, Raptors, and Jays, and everything's normal. We'll see what the Raptors do in the offseason. I'm not expecting like big free agents, obviously, because they're the Raptors. They don't get big free agents, but the Raptors, they do, like, if they can get like a good bench forward, that would be nice. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited, more excited for the draft, see what position we get. I will make a video about the lottery probably, and make my playoff predictions later. But yeah, other than that, my high 6 now. Peace. Have a good night, guys. Yeah. It was a weird season. I didn't expect this. I'm not used to missing the playoffs. But again, I'm a young guy. I'm 18, even though I feel old as shit. I feel like I'm 10 years older. Raptors haven't been that bad in my lifetime. They always been a top team in the regular season. They made it to 2 Western Conference Finals, won the championship. But this is a new direction. I think they're going to be a very good team next year, and they're getting younger, and I like that. We still have a core of players, Fred, Pascal, and OG, who are from the championship run. And we're gonna lose Lowry, and who cares about that guy? He's a nobody. And we still have Nick Nurse. Obviously, he's a stubborn guy, but he knows how to win. He's won a Coach of the Year. He's won a championship, and I think next year we're gonna get back into things, and we'll contend next year. And it's not being biased; it's the truth. You look at this organization; they know how to run. They know how to run shit. They won a championship with Kyle Lowry. That's the hardest thing to do. So yeah. Other than that, my high 6 out. Peace. Have a good day. Hope you guys have a good night. And yeah, let's go. Raptors missed the playoffs. Let's get this shit going. Can't wait to make my playoff bracket when everything is settled. And yeah, guys. God bless. Ramadan ends in 2 days. Hey, keep it halal.